All right, welcome back to another episode. I'm Levi or Levi and Paulo. Welcome back, man. I'm glad everyone tuned in. Pretty excited from last time. The calling in was a hit, I'll tell you that. There's people that like that. So we're going to do it again. We're going to open the lines for anyone that wants to call because we need a subject. If you can keep it about MMA, because keep in mind, we have Paulo here. He's a professional fighter. But the goal is answer questions about, how it can relate to MMA and the outside world in your everyday life. So the lines are open, and let's see who calls today.
What's the topic?
Let's see. There we go. We got our first call. Hey, how's it going? All right, Mark. We got Mark on the line from New York. Thanks for calling. Okay. He's got a question for you.
For me?
That's a great question, Mark. All right. Tune in and you'll hear the answer. So, great question. He wants to know the importance of having someone in your corner in a fight and how that can relate to the fight world and the outside world. So what do you think, Paulo? I think it's a good question.
It's amazing, man. It's amazing. I can totally relate with this. So it's more than important, it's important and necessary. So, but also has to have a connection, and you need to know the person very well, and the person needs to know you as well. It's not about like just someone who train with you sometimes, or your friend, or you bring your girlfriend, stuff like that. Like, it's a very, very important spot, and has to exist a big connection, because in that moment, like, it's too much. The hate about adrenaline is giant. And then so at that moment, at least when I was with me and a couple of friends, like, we zone, like, we don't hear the crowd. We just see the person, and then you can hear your coach. But the crowd is like, don't exist,
Yeah.
So all the words who come into you, they go straight to you, literally. So if the person say the wrong word, that not gonna be helpful at all. Like, it will unmotivate you, you know?
Yeah.
Also, this is why the right person has to be there as well, because like, maybe you're losing the fight, maybe you're just struggling and you forget about this detail. And then your coach, or your coach in that moment, just say, hey, Levi, hands up, Levi, move your head, Levi, footwork, keywords.
Okay.
And not a full conversation. That's going to change everything. At the same time, if the person says something like to unmotivate you, that can put you in the ground if you're already like struggling. I can use an example I have with me. I was fighting. Before the fight, I had two corners. And this guy was my friend, trained with me, a nice guy. He was there, plus he was so excited to be there, everyone participated. Okay, we have this spot. So turned out this guy I was ready to fight have way, way, way more fight than me, And then I was like, whatever, right? So he came to me, hey, Paulo, this guy you're going to fight have over 300 fights.
Oh, wow.
And then I'm like, so? You know what? Like, can you, and then I kicked him out the corner.
Oh, you kicked him out?
Yeah. I kicked him out my corner, and he was sitting in the crowd to watch the show, Still my friend, still love him, but he was not ready to be in my corner. Because that message, like, I was ready for the fight, physically and mentally, but let's say I wasn't.
Right.
So that word, that advice, he was saying, what is the goal? Nothing good will come from that, Like, that was just like, hey, man, that guy is too good. So at that moment, man, we are equal. You can have 1,000 fights, the other guy have 10. Of course, they have more experience, but that moment, man, it's two guys wanting the same thing,
right? The
same goal. And if you there, you are qualified to fight that guy. So whatever, like, in 100 fights, maybe he's gonna win 99. That day is your day. You have to have this in mind, like. And this I can totally connect with our life outside.
Okay.
Like that friend who always put you down, everything you say, I don't know, Levi, man, are you sure? Don't support you, and then always try to cut your wings off. So maybe that person should not be by your side,
Right,
maybe that kind of people just dragging you, holding you. So I like to say, like, in the right spot, you're gonna shine. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
you're different. Like some people, they want the spotlight for them. They don't want you to shine at all. You know, they want them to be the God. You know, they own the. You know, the I know everything. This is the way, man. But what is right for me cannot be right for you, and this is totally fine. You know, we're two different people, two different persons. So it's normal, and we think different. We have different paths as well. But this not means I can't be your friend.
Right.
You know? So I think we just should be a little bit more aware who's by our side and be a little bit more selective and not think about how many friends you have, but how good friends you have, you know?
I agree with that. No, that's a great point, Paulo. I like that story, though. I mean, you're telling me, you know, because was it probably like your first, second fight, or was it early in your career, I'm guessing, right?
Man, back in the days, I was already like 21 or 22 fights, you know?
Yeah.
And for me, it was like I have a lot,
right?
but not for that guy, no?
Right.
You know? Not for that guy. You know, in Thailand, it's very common. They have like 200, 300, 400, 500 fights.
Wow,
know? It's a different level, you know? But like it's like soccer, you know. If you wanna soccer, you relate to Brazil. If you talk about wrestling, you're gonna talk about U.S.
Right, of course.
You know, if you're gonna talk about Muay Thai, has to be Thailand.
Right,
you know?
right, yeah.
It's just something like totally. If you wanna improve, like you have this desire to go for that part of the world to learn, you know, because clearly they are the best in what they do.
Of course.
You know, but you can do the best as well.
Right.
You know?
Well, I like what you said, man. I was thinking I like to bring sometimes the biblical aspect of it. Not, you know, like we talked about at the gym. Everyone has their thing, and for me, you know, I like to base things off of, you know, whether it's the book of Psalms, Proverbs, anything that builds wisdom. I mean, think about King Solomon. He was the wisest man on earth. But I was thinking as you were talking, when you said you kicked that guy out of your corner, I think that's super important for people to understand. And you come more from the martial arts side. I like to come more from the business side. And I thought about something, you know, biblically, you know the story of Jonah when he fled from God's command and he entered a boat. The boat was rocky, the storm was there, and as soon as the crew threw him over, the storm stopped. So I thought, while you were talking, I was thought about the importance of when the wrong people leave, the right things start to happen in your life, and that applies to me in business, in my everyday life. But I totally agree with you to even hear that. It inspires me to know that you as a fighter, you weren't afraid of the guy, you know, your corner saying, hey, this guy has 300 plus fights. I don't know about you, man, but you're a fighter. I would be like, oh man, 300 fights, I would be psyching myself out. But you took the road where you were like, you know what, man, that doesn't matter. It's up here. I don't care if he has 300 fights.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to face him head on. And that is impressive. And I love that.
The first person who have to believe is you.
I agree with that.
The first person who have to believe is you. Like, if you're confident, you just like exalt, like, you know that. So, like everybody surrounding you, they like, okay, he's ready. You know,
Right.
he's right there. But if you already you're not so sure, you have a giant possibility to lose that fight. You know, like and many times, man, this happened with me too. You know, with a couple of friends as well. I saw this my whole life. Sometimes you lose for yourself. You know, you quit before you start.
Quit before you start.
You know what I mean? So, and if you go, you go, man. I
Right.
tell my students all the time, embrace. Like, if you want to throw a jab, not a
Right.
little touch.
Right.
You know, if you want to kick, not just like, not so sure.
Yeah.
You know, like less is more. You need to be more productive. So, one okay punch, you're going to bring like 2 or 3 heavy on you because you're literally feeding that person. Like, oh, he's not so sure. And then maybe that guy is even more scared than you are.
True.
But you feeding him. So
Yeah,
guess
you're
what?
feeding
He's
him.
not scared anymore.
Yeah.
And then who gonna win the fight? Probably gonna be the person on the other side.
Right.
Because guess what? You quit before you start.
I think I like that. We're going to keep it at that today. Our goal is to kind of keep these a little bit shorter for today's attention span.
Okay.
You know, no shade on anyone. But like Paulo said, the importance of having someone in your corner that you trust can make or break a fight. And what was the last thing you just said? I want to end it with that. You said If you go, don't go into the mindset of losing, right?
No, you have to believe in yourself. You're the first one to believe in you.
That's right. You're the first one to believe. Paulo, audience.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you, guys.